guys, Rick Shaw here on the 11th of June 2023, and we're really looking forward to our trip coming up. We've getting, we're trying to dot all the I's and cross all the T's right now. There's so much stuff just to leave here, but we're doing it. We're jumping through all these hoops to get her done. So hopefully everything's gonna work out and we don't run into any problems, for our trip. So, but we're getting her done. But I didn't want to say when we were doing the boats, if you guys are planning on doing big trips on these boats, even the to-go boat or any of these other boats, we had one that was for the 18th, was going to land in Cebu on the 19th. We're going to stay in the hotel overnight. Package deal. We get the hotel, and then we go get in the plane on the 20th. I didn't book it. It was the day before we went for the visa, and I says, no, I'm not booking it until we have that visa in our hot little hands. As soon as we got back, we had the visa in our hands. I went to do the visa. Those boats are gone, full. And they told us that the only thing we could do was sit on standby, go up to Pier 4 and wait. And if somebody cancels, but then you don't know what you're going to get. If you're going to be in the cattle car with all those bunk beds, or you're going to be in a stateroom or another kind of room. And I was thinking, no, I want a stateroom with aircon, TV, so we can relax, you know what I mean? But that didn't work out. So we were hunting, and then we found one for the 14th, and that didn't work out. It was a Starlight. Well, sorry guys, I'm not taking that boat. I value my life a little too highly. And then we found one on the 11th, and I thought, okay, we're gonna have to be staying down there for quite a while. Okay. Well, the only thing they had was the bunk room. So. And I don't want to do bunk room. And then there's flight, but I don't want to go to Manila Airport. I really don't, guys. It's always just been a hassle, so I don't need that. I actually was in there the one time when I was leaving. The security guard come walking up, are you drunk? And I had a drop. Just because I was a foreigner, like I was going to cause trouble. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm just ready to get on my plane. Why are you asking me? It wasn't like I was falling all over the place or getting loud or anything. It just seemed odd to me. So I don't want to deal with those guys. That's the airport I don't need to go to. So we're going to go out of Cebu. Well, what happened was I was talking to the doc, and I was telling him, yeah, we're going to get there somehow. We're going to make it. And he said, well, he was a logistics guy. He was telling me the different things he's done his whole life and where he worked and everything. Pretty interesting fellow. And I thought, okay. And he says, I'm a logistic guy. Let me see what I can do. And he knew people. He's known people all over the world. He's traveled all over the world, especially over here in Asia. So he knows, and he knew a fellow that had something to do with that. So guess what? He found us a boat. Now, it still leaves on the 14th, but it's a tour boat. And what it does is it's going to take off from Batangas, and then it's going to stop in ports, and it'll get us to Cebu on the morning of the 20th. So I'm like, oh, cool. And he took care of it all. So that was really great. Thanks, Doc. You wouldn't believe how much we appreciate that. So that's another thing off the list of stuff that, it's a worry. Yeah, it's just a dang worry. So we're getting there, and he helped out a lot. So I do appreciate that, and we're going to vlog it. But what's going to happen is we'll vlog the stuff. I don't know what kind of signal we're going to get. It'll be phone. I may not be able to put anything up, but when I get to the States. Says the Smart will work. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But we'll get a SIM card there too. We'll take care of it. One over there, so we have a phone, and then I'm going to do it on that phone number. It'll even be in a different country, and we're just gonna. I think we're going to call it Shaw Family Adventures, and we're going to start vlogging the entire trip, and when we get there and what we do when we get there, and visiting. You know, I would like to go golfing when I'm there. I can always get a set of clubs, but I told my wife I got to bring my putter. I've had that putter since I started golfing, and I really like it. So we got a few things we're going to get along. That's why I didn't want to fly on the plane, because it was like the batteries I have for my thing. They'll hash you there for it. So I don't want them taking it off. And I've heard people that I just talked to a fellow that said he had a power pack, and he said you have your owner's manual for it, and you'll have no trouble. And I have it. I don't throw that away. I have it. I still have the box and everything. So I stuck that in there, so that shouldn't be a problem. It's a really good power brick. They want you guys, so they want you to have that in your carry-on. In case if it starts on fire, then somebody's going to see it, not down in a cargo hold. So know that when you travel. But make sure, if you're going to have a power brick, and then you got to declare all the batteries. I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 batteries for the cameras. So I got that on the list. So because they worry about the batteries, I guess, they overheating and such. I don't have a problem with mine so far. Phone too. I've never really had a problem with this phone getting hot even when you charge it. I have a supercharger. It's like a 25 watt or something like that. Most of them are 5. It takes a long time to charge. This thing will charge it up in no time, and it still don't get hot. So they've taken care of a lot of stuff on the phone since my old one. I had the first Samsung was that 850, and I just had the 5 watt charger. That thing can get hot. I got to the point where I don't take the phones with me when I go somewhere usually, unless I'm going to take a couple pictures. But I wound up just leaving it. I would unplug it if we were gone, because I didn't want it starting a fire. So that's how that goes. But also, I wanted to say we got Wes's bike back to him the other day. We got to visit with him. They were very generous to us. They brought us a huge Paso Lubog box. I got a nice shirt. He got me a couple of these. Beautiful colors, and he got Dorothy a couple outfits. Beautiful stuff. And the boys got shirts, and he gave them some Cordobas. They all got some Cordobas. It's plastic money there, like the 1000s here. And then he bought us dinner. And visited. We had a great time visiting with him. I think he's going to be going back in August, I believe. And Wes, I forgot to tell you this when I brought the bike back. The tank was just about empty, and I had mixed up a big batch of the stable with the gas, 95 octane. I put the stable in for the amount, poured it in, and it was for the generator, and we filled up your motorcycle tank. So, and then of course I drove it over to your place. So there's no worries about if you're going to be gone in August if it's sitting. It's already got the stable in it, and should be no problem at all. So, but one thing he got me that I was really liking, I like those little razors, what I grew up on, the ones where you just drop the blade in the top and you twist the bottom and it closes the little doors. Single blade. They always worked really good for me. Well, here I couldn't find one of those, a Gillette one. So I had a plastic one. Of course, the top broke. And then I found a metal one, but it's got like a snap-on spring lid for it, and it's adjustable to change the angle of the blade and all that. It bows the blade to get the angle, but it's heavy. This thing is real heavy. Well, he came back and brought me one that has the, you just twist the bottom and it opens up, you put the blade in, plus some of that shave a day club. There's a club where you get the razors, and you can have so many razors come in a month or however many you want. Got me a handle and some of them blades. I'm going to try that out today. I haven't got my shower this morning yet. We still got some things around the house we got to clear up. When we moved to Carmona, we were only supposed to be there 2 months. and we packed up a bunch of stuff, mostly clothes and things like that, and we taped up the boxes, and well, we were there almost 2 years, so they never got opened. Well, when we moved here, we just took them upstairs and stuffed them under the bed, because we had the bed way high up in the air so that you can get stuff underneath it, extra storage instead of having the bed low. And we have those plastic wheelie boxes, the big ones. They'll fit right underneath there, and you can roll them in. We can get 3 rows of them. Well, that's where a lot of stuff is. A lot of our stuff. I went to Lazada, and they had, I bought these shoes to fit, and they do fit. I couldn't try them on with socks because I only have thick socks now that don't really fit. You can't get socks to fit here for you guys. You might as well forget it. So the company that sold me the shoes, nice leather shoes, they seem pretty good, and wrong color that I ordered, but that's what you get here. So they had socks that said 48. They're the ones who got hold of me. You know, when I went to go do the order, it popped up, size 48 socks. Okay, 10-pack, and I got a coupon, so I ordered them. They came today. They just fit my kids. I mean, these things are just they're little baby socks. So that wasn't too good, and I'm hoping when I open up these boxes that haven't been opened in 4 years or so, I got some socks in there, because I don't care where you go, you can't find stuff. We're going to go back to the States, and we're going to buy clothes. That's why we're going to go in with the suitcases partially full. Everybody's going to take a suitcase. We have the backpack suitcases, big. My wife has a red pull-along one. You can get a lot of stuff in there, and we could take everything out of that one where you're kneeling on it just to close the zipper, even with the other zipper so it expands, and they fit right in these backpack with room to spare. So that way we'll just take a few changes, and then when we get there, I'm going to get some clothes, and I'm going to be real happy to get clothes that fit me. They're tough to find here. You know, if you're a good-sized dude, maybe there's places that other guys can get them, but everywhere I've been, I can't find them. Even when I go to the different malls, I've been to Alabang, I've been to malls all over the place, and it's just too hard. Shoes, forget it. The only time, you can find 13 very rarely, but I can't wear 13. It's too small. So, I wear a size 14. That's it. And then socks, forget it. I've tried everywhere. And you go buying online, they don't give a shit what they send you. They sent me little kid socks. Now, I didn't send them back. I gave them a poor review and took pictures of the socks and my son wearing them, and a sock laying right next, and I sent that. And that's what they sent. They sent little kid socks, supposed to be 48. I just bought a pair of shoes that are 48s, and they give me the little baby socks. So you got to watch doing that. But we're really looking forward to this trip. But don't forget, guys, when you're here and you want to leave, there's hoops after hoops. I've had some people say, "Oh, the kids don't have to get that because they were born here. It's only..." No, we went to the immigration down in Batangas. We showed them the passport. It says right on there that they were born in the Philippines, right on the passport. They said, "You still got to get it," but they couldn't do it for us. And I'm like, it's an immigration office. What if you was down on another island, you went to I'm sorry, you got to go to Manila. It could be days of a trip or a long plane ride. One hand doesn't know what the other's doing here, and that's kind of a shame. I wish it would be a little different. Honestly, though, with what they do, excuse me, in this country, I think with all the hoops, nobody's making you do all the stuff you have to do here, and I honestly think people are just going to say, you know what, I'm not dealing with that. I'm just not going to deal with it. All the airport fees, all this stuff you got to do, all these papers you got to get, and then my wife, we have to deal with immigration when she goes to leave. And that they could say, nope, sorry, can't go. And it's happened. I've had people hit me up and say, yeah, it happened. Now, they were able to leave a couple days later because they got a different person. But look at the ticket you lost. You know, tickets aren't cheap. It wasn't like when I traveled. When I traveled last time, it was $700 round trip. Them days are long gone, guys. Long gone. So that's how that goes. But you know, we're still optimistic that things are going to go smooth. It seems like everything's fallen into place. You know, it's just, you know, the dominoes are falling, and we're looking forward. You know, I want my kids to meet, and my wife to meet my brothers and sisters, see some of the United States. Like to show them where I lived when I was young. You know, and like my wife, she took me one time, showed me when she was little, where she was born and where she lived. And I'm like, oh, cool, you know, the old homestead. And I like to show my kids that, and show them my old house down by the river. There's other people in it now, but you know, and you can still walk there and walk down to the river. We could park on the street and just go take off, take them down there, show them where I used to hunt. You know, I want to do that. I want to see, you know, get my boy, my daughter, grandkids I've never seen. I got grandkids I've never seen, guys. So, you know, this trip is really important to me, and I sure hope some dude in a big hat that's got a chip on his shoulder doesn't get a case of the butt on us and not let my wife go. And it can happen. You know, in the other countries, none of them are doing that. We actually had the president here. This was a while back. He says, no more masks, no more this, no more that. Doesn't matter what he said. You look at my bank. You can't go in my bank without a mask on. There's many stores you can't. We were down in Batonga City, and the LBC place, big signs, no mask, no entry. We didn't have them. We didn't have any in the car. We didn't think we needed them. So I just said, you know what, hell with this. We're just going to walk right in. And there was a Filipino couple that was like standing looking in the window. You know, I guess they were looking to where to buy a mask, and they seen us walk in, and they just said, oh, heck with this, and went in. But the dude didn't do nothing. He just checked us through, and we got our stuff. So it's just, it seems like they're never going to let this big con go here. They're not going to let it go. The other countries do. I've heard of people, they go to Thailand, they go to Vietnam, in and out, no problem. No fuss, no muss. And I think a lot of people are going to say, you know what, let's just go there. You know, we're just gonna bypass the Philippines because it's just too much of a headache. And like I've always said, you know, sometimes, I hate to say this, guys, but sometimes the Filipinos are their own worst enemy. You know, I said this years and years ago, that this is the Tiger of the Orient, and it was going to get big. It was really going to be something. And now I'm here many, many years later, you know, 40-some years later, and I'm just shaking my head. I'm thinking, wow. I hope they can turn this around, but they're too busy fighting amongst themselves to get anything done, and that's a royal shame, because this should be the most fantastic paradise in the world. You know, but when your boots on the ground here, there's a lot of places that I don't want to be. That's why we're going to head down to Mindoro. You know, this place, just the traffic. You know, when you get out of your driveway at the gate up here, and to go a couple kilometers, it takes you an hour. That's a joke. I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. So, but it's the people. It's not just the traffic, guys. It's the people that are constantly driving up, you know, that's not even a lane, and they're trying to jam in on you, and they're causing traffic too, because now you got to stop, and everybody behind you got to stop because some joker's trying to squeeze in, and it just holds up traffic even worse. And when one guy does it, the rest of them got to try to do the same thing. It's the way it goes here, guys. You'll see. You come here, you'll see. I had one fellow tell me, oh yeah, well, you come to America, it's really changed. It's really changed. It's not the same country you left. Well, guess what? This ain't the same country that I moved to 10 years ago. It's not. And a lot of countries are that way because they got convoluted. is what happens. So, take everything with a grain of salt here. Nice place to visit. You know what I mean? And the rest of that one. So, take everything easy here, and watch out. It's not the super friendly place it used to be. I remember years ago traveling here, all through the years. People happy to see you, and in the last 7 years, that sentiment has changed. It's just absolutely changed, and ever since the COVID, it even got worse. So I'm gonna let you go. By the way, Gary, keep him in your prayers, guys. I was chatting with him the other day. He's still got a gas bubble in his eye. It's going to take a long time to dissipate, and I know that eyes take a while to heal. So keep him in your prayers. Ronald's out. I was chatting with him. He seems to be doing really good. Doc is super upbeat. Everybody's doing good. Wes, him and his sweetie seem real happy. I think they had a nice vacation in Central America, and I think that just like rejuvenated them. Because there's not stuff. He had videos of the roadway. It's not all jam-packed. He's right along a big highway, and basically you get your buggy and go. He bought himself a nice motorcycle down there, and so he's looking good. He's able to get around and got his farm, and that's really cool. I'm really happy that they're there. They're going to go back and forth between the countries. So, but I'm going to go ahead and let you go. And like I say, don't forget to pray for everybody. And y'all take care. And this is Rickshaw out.